welcome to 1 Minute World Building. Let's see here. What am I doing wrong? Let's see here. What am I doing wrong? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the World Builders Library. I don't know how much talking I'm going to do here. I plan on streaming for about an hour. I am working on a new campaign zone, so we're creating a map. I'm using Incarnate. I'm not even close to an expert, but yeah, so it goes. I have a rough draft. I'm going to choose my orientation at random. So D12. So that's one, yeah. 5. So that is the top of the map. Okay. So make it work. Do we start with all land? We start with a lot of land. Let's just throw some stuff down. See where it leads. So we know a few things about our world here. We know it is post-war. We know that there is a reduction in technology. There used to be more. I'm not talking like modern day technology, but like steampunk stuff. Alchemy, high magic. We know that as a result of these wars, that there's been a rejection of technology, that there was gunpowder, and it's now illegal. There were cannons that did massive damage. They were developed during the war. the backlash now is no cannons. Still some firearms, I think. I think I like rifles. I think I'm going to do something there. Maybe no pistols. I may actually encourage rifle play. Buff them a little bit. I know I want strong. I think I know. I want strong religious organizations. I think I'm gonna go with the idea that it's actually was divine intervention that ended the wars. I think that's kind of a neat idea. And I think I might do something with like walking demigods. I like this idea that a lot of the powerful adventurers were punished in a way. By becoming these demigod creatures. They lost a lot of their self-will. And now they're these divine abominations. I like that, divine abominations. Starting the players on a boat. Have them never met before. I'm going to be mean to them too. Although I always threaten and it doesn't actually happen. And that's one thing I need to get better at, is consistently challenging my players in combat. But it's not easy to do. A high-level campaign, I did run a pretty good fight last session. I knocked down the fighter and the barbarian was basically a round out from being taken out or taken down to 0. So I'm not horrible at challenging my parties, but I can be better. And I want this maybe to be a little bloodthirsty. We've talked about it being bloodthirsty before. In theory, this is eventually going to be a podcast. We've been working at it for a while now, and it's not bad. We're getting better. We're learning what we're doing. One of my early business ventures as a young man was publishing a game. And we got in too big of a hurry, so published it before it was ready. Definitely hope to avoid that. So if it takes a while, it takes a while. No big deal. Alright, so there's the bones. It's not the whole world. This is just the game world. That's a whole lot of water. It's alright, we'll deal with it. So we know we want, or we think we want certain things here. This is swamp. Swamp and forest over here. So this is Wonderland. It's a working name. I think Wonderland is going to be the kind of a spiritual center. And it was also largely untouched by a lot of the bad things that went on. Just because it's out here as an island. So let's get some mountains. And it's not, is it tropical? It's subtropical. It's it's Texas. Arkansas. Yeah, it's Arkansas, Missouri. There are winners. Just not I don't want to say not bad because it's all relative, right? But it's not Iceland. It's not Nebraska. It's you may go a winter with places not getting much snow, maybe no snow. But you also might have an occasional bad winter. And I don't know how long. We're going like 10, 15 sessions. My plot is not non-existent. I've got an opening. It's not that many sessions. I like these things to play cities. we want? Let's put our capital over here. This is a fairly populated area. At least, is it a fairly populated area? I think that's fair. Several cities in that 20 to 60,000 range. And people aren't obviously just in the cities, so but I mean even 20 years after, things are pretty rough. It's a lot of broken nations, a lot of city states. I don't think I've got a single. Oh, yeah, I've had a few people pop in. All right. Let's see. Swamp water. Swamp water. Wow, that's 100% not what we wanted to do. course, we'll want them to visit parts of the world. Their first visit will definitely be over here. And they're all kind of from over here. So let's work on this. We're gonna, let's put down a few notes. So the deal with the knolls, this didn't used to be knoll lands, but it pretty much is exclusively now. Do I want that to be true? Knolls are still bad here. The knolls were defeated. They moved in from off map. They were taking advantage of existing wars. So you've got ruined cities. Ruin. Do a river. That is totally not what I want. Let's go down to about a 4. So if you didn't know, cities and settlements like rivers. Even if you can only get small boats down, they're still definitely beneficial. They are free trade routes. And if you're watching my economic campaign, don't read too much into that. I mean, they're definitely beneficial, but nothing's free. All right, now let's go back over here. We're going to have an existing city here. Oops, something's funny. We're gonna fort here. limits. Pass. All right, anyway, we were supposed to be working up here. Okay, we're obviously doing this now. Unless we change our mind again. So yeah, this is the area the party's from. We haven't done session 0 yet. Pretty sure we're gonna have a paladin. We're gonna have a barbarian, a warlock, and a fighter, maybe a rifleman fighter or a ranger. I think I'm gonna say if you know, obviously this is all character consent stuff, but the ranger or fighter or whatever he turns out to be. There was a big mercenary group that used to operate through here during the war. They got broken up, but he still managed to hold on to the company. They're not followers, they're just employees. He's managed to keep them in business. But the political winds, that he's concerned that they will not have an ongoing job opportunities. So he would be on a boat, checking out job opportunities over here. It's not a bad looking map for being half an hour into it. All right, anyway. The warlock is maybe transporting something. For her patron. I like that. From somewhere over here to somewhere over here. Our paladin is escorting some diplomats from over here to over here. So they're all on this boat. And the boat crashes. Party has to make it inland about 100 miles, no big deal. Run into some stuff, hit some plot points. Try to kill somebody on their way. I've pretty much got all the players with secondary characters, backup characters. We've had some different ideas that even if everybody lives through the campaign arc, that maybe they pick up with those followers, just different characters, different story. But some some transition, some continuity. So we might be playing on this map for a while, which is fine. There's plenty here. It's a big map. I mean, this is several hundred miles, but it's, I don't know, if this was 100, 300, yeah, it's about 1,000 miles across. That's plenty of room to do stuff. All right, this is supposed to be visual, not audio. Audio is secondary. Let's get some forests in. For forests, I think I'm not doing trees. I think I'm doing all right, I know. Great content. I'm using this. This is a forest. See how it looks. Let's knock down the opacity to start with. All right. Over here. So when you do this, yes, you're kind of doing it at random, but that also means that you are making decisions, because there's got to be a reason that this is forest, or this is not forest, and this is forest. And here it is largely elevation. The forest is on a little bit higher ground. The water's not so not so prevalent. So the trees can establish themselves and not drown. Trees will drown. Depends on the tree. Oh, what kind of scale is this map? Hello, Jared. It is a fantasy battle map. I was talking about scale just a little bit a second ago. I've got it laid out to 64 by 36. The reason I do 64 by 36 is 16 by 9 is the YouTube scale, so I just multiply it by 4 and it fits on the YouTube screen. As far as what real distances are, this island is probably a couple hundred miles across, left to right, east to west. So that'll give you an idea. I don't have a hard scale yet, but that's the idea. We're kind of a big Mediterranean area. I mean, it's probably 1,000 miles all the way across. Yeah, lots of water. There's probably a lot of smaller islands scattered in here, especially through the chains. I may mark those later. Well, not all of them, obviously. Some of them are going to be tiny. So yeah. Now I'm just starting to add a little color to the individual little sub-regions here. Uh, yeah. And yeah, I'm not doing a lot of talking, supposedly. Mostly focusing on the drawing part. I don't talk and chew bubble gum very well. Or walk and chew. I don't know. It's the multitasking thing. Not good at it. Proofs in the pudding. No, I want pudding. It just begs for crocodiles and hippopotamuses. Hippopotami. See, now I know I got somebody watching, so I'm going to be an idiot. Thank you, Incarnate. You have a good point. Kind of the same. So at this point, it's just a matter of how much attention you want to pay. This is very much rough draft, so it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of these hills are probably going to get moved around. The main thing we're doing is just getting stuff on the screen, things on the board that we can deal with later. I should probably throw down some notes. There's a lot of different ways to do rivers. I don't know if this is the best way. I've used the line tool before. I feel like this gives me flexibility later. Because I can come back. A line is just a line, right? But if you do it as coast, it's a feature that you can now mold. And by the way, establishing that you're just trying to rough some stuff out and then getting into extreme detail work is not always the best thing to do. So let's plop down some more cities. Hit random buttons till you find the one you need. All right. Probably big farming area through here. That's not desert, that's grassland. Now, grassland doesn't have to mean farming. All right, so we know culturally distinct, culturally distinct, culturally distinct. I may do a species thing. I might do humans. Humans, elves, halflings. Oh, I can do dragonborn. Dragonborn, tiefling, and maybe some other stuff too, as not exclusive species, but bloodlines. It's kind of a big surprise on pregnancy day, on baby making day. Same thing, Goliath too. Okay. I like that. I was playing with that in some other videos. We can do that here. We'll need dwarves. So this could be, we could mix dwarves in here. Mix gnomes over here. I'm going to have to get a list of species. So I'm not just going to use, oh, look at that city there. I'm not just going to use the ones out of the book, so I'll have to do some custom species. All right, so these three areas are the most socially sound, governmentally sound. This area here is a mess. We know that. So yeah, this is almost all ruins, very small populations. How do we make it pretty? We've got our lakes. I know there's no extraordinary mountains around. I've done a lot with mountains recently in campaigns, like, you know, not necessarily mountain adventures, but just oversized freaking mountains. So the mountains that are here are nothing extraordinary. So what mountains do we have? We have this mountain range, we have this mountain range. They're all running east to west. Which, if you look at Earth, I mean, that's kind of how it works, right? Like all the American mountain ranges are north to south. Well, all of them, both of them. Asia tends to be east to west. Is that true? It kind of is. The Alps are east to west. The Himalayas are east to west. The Urals are north to south. Thanks, Urals, for screwing up my theory. Okay. Uh, so this is obviously high ground, low ground. Deserts. Do we have any place for a desert? We could do a desert maybe in over here. Sure, let's do a desert over here. Deserts. Start with low opacity and deal with it. Did I just... Okay. So... throw in some mountains. I like the idea that the forest basically just kind of took this over. I don't necessarily want to go MacGuffin searching. We want to do politics. Now, yes, it's D&D. There's going to be some freaking MacGuffin searching. It sounded very Nick. Whoa. Whoa, stop. Lord. what's the point of the diplomacy? There's got to be a point. So this is an undead field. Undead fields are areas of negative energy that will that create undead? Yeah, anything dead inside them raises into undead. This is not my main game world, so I can fudge my own lore. So I'm going to say this was created during the war as part of as a weapon. Although I've had that, actually, technically that's possible in my game world too. So whatever. This should be forest. Yeah. All right. Hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, that'll do for now. We're gonna break a rule. We're gonna do some Lonely Mountains. Now, this looks stark, but it is stark. And you walk up to the edge of this thing, and it's not like over the period of 15 minutes it becomes in a dead field. It's, standing at a threshold, in, out, in, out. So, yeah. All right, let's see what we're looking like here. Oh, that's our hour too. So we'll work on this some more. Definitely, we definitely have work left to do. I might just kind of do another live stream tomorrow because I've got some pretty big chunks left here. And I got city naming, I got other world building stuff. There may be more talking in the next episode. But for now, I appreciate you all. Glad that you stopped by. I don't know that we had more than one or two people, but I guess I'll look at the stats later. These things are usually more successful than I thought they were. But I will catch you the next time, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. Yeah, well, that's my official sign off. Now I just got to figure out how to turn this thing off.